Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to a brand new episode of Takeaway Tip Tuesday. I am your host, Ramona Remisat, intuitive guidance coach, angel therapy practitioner, speaker, and co-author of 2 Amazon bestsellers, 365 Days of Angel Prayers, and 365 Ways to Connect with Your Soul. And welcome. It is Tuesday, March 6th. And we are motoring through this year. Joanne's already on the ball. She's on here today. Hi, Joanne. Nice to have you here. As you guys come on, feel free to let me know who's here, who's watching, where you're from, and don't be shy. Remember that you can comment in the box. You can also swipe left and send me some hearts or thumbs up and let me know how this topic is resonating with you, or if you don't like what I'm saying, you can also share that too. So everybody has an opinion, right? So we welcome everybody to have and share their opinions on Takeaway Tip Tuesdays. So today's topic, actually before I get into today's topic, quick mention. If you haven't had a chance to go back and watch last week's episode of Takeaway Tip Tuesday, I encourage you to do that because it was actually a free training. It was very in-depth. It was more along the lines of an actual workshop. You know, what I would take you through. We worked on some stuff. You guys came out with a tangible map so that whatever it is that you're wanting to bring into your life this year, you will be able to do so by December if you follow through with the exercise that I shared with you all last week. So if you haven't had a chance to do that, go back, check it out. It's called the GAP exercise, and have a pen and paper because, as I said, it's not just me talking. We actually kind of did it more workshop style. So that is something that I think you'll find very, very high value. Go check it out. I also made an announcement last week that I am no longer doing the daily angel guidance messages here live, but the reason for that is to give me some more time and enable me to put more effort into these weekly broadcasts of Takeaway Tip Tuesday, because I want to give you guys stuff that's like, you know, that you can take away, that is implementable stuff that's actually going to help you in your life, in your business, whatever it might be. So it's you know, I want to be able to give you guys some really meaty, good content. So that was my thinking on that. So hopefully you're going to stick around. Every Tuesday you'll be back here because there's lots more good stuff coming. And we're kicking it off this week with one of the things I get asked about the most, which really is, how do I know if I'm making the right decision, right? And you know, or am I making the right decision? You know, you've probably asked yourself that 1,000 times, whether it's in life, whether you have a business. If you have recognized that you've asked yourself that question, feel free to type in the chat, say yeah, because we do, right? We're making decisions all the time, and especially if it's a really big, important decision, there's a lot of fear that pops up with that. We're like, am I making the right decision? Especially if there's some dollar signs associated with that choice or that decision, right? Like I said, it makes us fearful. We're always worried about making a mistake. We are worried about judgment. You know, if I choose this, what are other people going to think about me, right? We also kind of get in our heads about, I only get one shot at this, so I damn well better make it, it better be the right one, right? We kind of get into that thinking of, it's, you know, this is your one chance, you can't blow it. So if any of that is resonating with you, give me some indication. Send me a heart, send me a thumbs up, put a check mark, something. Let me know if that is making sense, because I'm hoping that this is going to help you guys. So obviously, in order for it to help you, you've had to kind of have this problem in the first place. Maybe you're one of those people, you have no problem making decisions. That's great. I don't really know why you're watching this, but hey, the more the merrier. So that's awesome. So yeah, so we get into this turmoil around decision making. Part of that turmoil comes from because we don't really know what we want. Deep down, we don't know what we want, right? We are so busy wearing all the hats, you know, wife, mom, husband, partner, employee, volunteer, friend, blah, 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 business owner, right? We wear a lot of hats. So if I came to you and said, well, what do you want? A lot of times people will be like, right? We tend to only kind of allow ourselves to dream about those things, you know, when the Lotto 649 commercial comes on. TV, right? And they say, what would you do with this kind of money? And then we're like, ooh, I would have this and I would do that, right? Then we start to dream. But that is actually the most critical piece. We have to kind of do the dreaming first, and I'm going to explain what I mean by that. So you guys, hopefully you're still with me. This is going to make some sense to you in a minute. I'm going to give you some examples, okay? So because we are focused not on what's important to us or not what we want, then when we have to make a choice or a decision, we tend to go external for answers, right? We start asking everybody else, what do you think? What should I do? Listening to this advice and whatever else. And then that pours in all kinds of extra stuff, even more on top of what we were already having going on in our head. And it creates a lot of confusion and overwhelm. Now, give me some thumbs up. Let me know if that makes sense. Right? You've done that before. You're like asking everybody else, and you're reading a self-help book, and you're listening to stuff on the internet, and you're, talking to this expert or whoever, and everybody seems to have an opinion. And then it's like, oh my God, now I have way too much information in my head. Now what am I supposed to do? Right? Very true, says Christy. Okay, good. Thank you. I'm glad this is getting through to you guys. And that's what I'm feeling like is an epidemic right now. We're just constantly going outside of ourselves for answers and just confusing ourselves even more. So this is something that's, I think, going to kind of clear this up for you. So imagine for a moment if you were so crystal clear on what you wanted, but more than what you wanted, you were crystal clear on what was critical for your happiness and for your well-being, so that the moment a choice or a decision was placed in front of you, you could take that decision and you could run that through your mental list of what's critical for you and ask, if I decide to do this, is this going to bring me closer to what is super critical and important for me, or is that going to take me further away? Wouldn't that make decision making a no-brainer, right? Like, let me give you some tangible examples of what I'm talking about. So let's say I am relocating and I'm moving, and as I start my house hunting, I know one of the things on my list that is absolutely critical to my well-being, my happiness, is to live in a home that's got lots of natural light and is close to nature. I know that that's essential for me. So I go and I see this house, and as I'm pulling up, I'm noticing it's a nice house, but geez, it's kind of packed in with a lot of other houses, and there's really no green space or anything like that around. It feels very urban. And then as I go into the house, I notice that the way it's situated on the lot is such that it just doesn't seem to be getting a lot of natural light into the main living areas, right? Knowing that one thing on my list is about my home and what is essential for me, I can easily note that this is not going to work for me. Maybe it has a great price, maybe it's near great amenities, but you know what? I'm not going to even go there in my head, because I know that other piece of it is so critical to my happiness and well-being. This is not going to be the right choice for me. Let me give you another example. Let's say you are presented with an opportunity to move to another department, and maybe it's even a bit of a promotion, right? And you know that what is essential and critical to your happiness and your well-being is to work in an environment that's very supportive with people who share the same values that you have. But let's say in that other department, you already know it is not supportive, and those values of the people in that department are totally clashing against your own, right? So knowing that, I mean, you don't even have to take a breath, right? If you know that right away, that decision, snap decision, easy to make, because you know what is so important to you, right? Is this making sense, you guys? Let me know. Give me a thumbs up or a heart or something. But is that sounding familiar? Being able to make these kinds of decisions. And here's the thing. This is actually, it goes beyond decision making, right? When you are clear on what is so necessary for you to have in your life, like I said, to have happiness, to have a sense of well-being, when you know that, then, this is where it gets exciting, you guys, then you start to wrap stuff around that in your life and you start to focus. You put your focus and your attention on those things because they're so important to you. And when you put your focus and attention on them, guess what happens? They show up in your life. Versus, because the opposite of this is also true, if you are very fuzzy on what is important to you and your happiness and your well-being, then you're going to have fuzzy results, right? You're not going to see those things showing up. Instead, they're going to live on, I always say it, the fantasy island of someday I'll, right? Someday I'll have that house with natural light. Someday I'll work in that environment with really supportive people and same values as I have. It's always someday, someday, someday. It never seems to show up, right? So when everything stems from that clarity, like I said, when you're clear, what you want shows up in your life, but only to the extent you are clear. So it's a bit of a paradox there. I don't know if that's the right term. But the cool thing is, like I said, when you're clear, then you can start to wrap everything else around that in your life and bring it into alignment with what is important to you. And when you do that, it is amazing. And that's when, again, people are showing up in your life. You're like, wow, this is, the right person and the right opportunity and money is there to support you. And it's like you're a magnet drawing all these amazing things in. It's because everything you do is in alignment with what is most deeply important to you at your deepest core level. So if you don't have that clarity, the whole picture is just going to be fuzzy, 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 right? And decision making is going to be really, really hard because you don't even know what you want, like I said at the beginning. So I don't know what actually brought you to this live stream today. Maybe you have an important decision to make and you're frustrated and you don't know what to do. Or maybe you've noticed a pattern in your own life where you really get into second guessing and self-doubt. And as a result, you don't really take any action in your life. Or if you're a business owner, you don't take the right actions in your business. Or maybe you're just kind of like, I don't know, I'm kind of lost. I'm stumbling around. I don't even know where to go from here. A lot of people are like, am I on my purpose? Do I even have a purpose, right? So if any of that is resonating with you, then I really want to invite you. Let's hop on a call, a clarity call. And it's totally complimentary. What we'll do is we'll just chat a bit more about, what's been working for you, what's not been working for you, and we will come up with a strategy and a plan for what could work better instead, right? So that you're not staying in this thing of like being stuck and having such turmoil around making decisions and all of that. So as I said, it's totally complimentary. If that's speaking to you, you can just type in the chat right now, or you can actually reach out to me, post below in the comments after the video is posted on the page. You could send me a private message, or you can email me, ramona@ramonaremisat.com. I'll also put that link in there. But I just really want to offer you that because it stinks when you are stuck or when you are getting these fuzzy results. Like I said, right? We have to get clear, and it's not difficult to get clear. It's just giving yourself the space and the time to do that and to have somebody who can kind of ask the right questions, right, to help you identify those things. Because like I said, we typically don't ask that of ourselves. What is important to me? What's essential for me to have in my life for me to be happy? We don't even think about that. We're so in reactive mode to everything else that's coming at us. We don't think we can create, or we don't create. We're just reacting. Right? So this is your opportunity to, again, have what you want and create what you want. And it doesn't have to be hard. I am very truthful when I tell you that. It doesn't have to be hard, but it's a lot easier when you kind of have a plan, like we talked about last week when I shared with you the gap exercise, right? So that's part of what this is about. So I hope this, Christy, Joanne, come on guys, let me know. Is this helpful? Do you feel like this is giving you maybe a new perspective that you hadn't thought of before? Because a lot of people really haven't thought of this before. They have like, that's some food for thought there. Yeah, I have never really considered what I want or what's important to me, right? So it is worth taking the time to do that. So like I said, if you're kind of, oh, thank you guys, there we go. We're getting a bit of a delay, but there's some hearts and thumbs up. Awesome. So like I said, this is totally complimentary. I'm just doing this because I really don't want people staying stuck. It sucks. I've been there, trust me. And I actually used some of these tools that I've shared to help you, because I was in that same position a long time ago. I went through an identity crisis. If you ask me like, well, what do you want, or who are you? I was like, I don't know. What do I want? Where do I go from here? Do I have a purpose? What is my purpose? All those questions were in my head, and I just was spinning around, right? So I get it, because I've done that, and it's not a great place to be. Trust me. So let's chat. Like I said, if you're spinning around, let's get you off the roller coaster, and it's just a chat, right? You'll talk, you'll tell me, like I said, what's working, what's not working, and together we'll put our heads together and come up with something that would work better instead. All right, so that's what I wanted to offer you today, and hopefully that's a takeaway tip. If this was helpful, share it out, guys. Let other people enjoy this as well. You're in the middle of trying to figure out who you are and what you want. All right, Christy, we have to set up a call. Seriously, all right? So do that and post below so that we can connect offline, and we can get you off of that. Like I said, it kind of feels like a merry-go-round. You just keep spinning, 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 but you don't go anywhere, right? And I know, so let's talk about that. All right. Like I said, if this was helpful, please share it out so that other people can get some help too. And again, hopefully that you'll remember to get this date and time on your calendar every week for Takeaway Tip Tuesday. Having said that though, next Tuesday, March 13th, I'm actually going to be a guest on another show. So I'm going to invite you to come join me over on the Erin Strayer show. I will also put the link here after I've posted the video. That's going to take place at 1 o'clock Eastern Time, 11 Mountain, and we're talking money. That's going to be about getting your mindset right around your money. So we're going to get into some nitty-gritty there. I'm going to share some really cool little techniques and tools that you can use. So I'm hoping you'll tune in for that. And I will be on same day next week, but later for my show, for Takeaway Tip Tuesday. That's going to be at 3 p.m. Eastern or 1 o'clock Mountain Time. All right, so mark that down for next week. And join me over on Erin's show, because it's going to be so much fun. We're going to have this chat, like I said, about mindset and money. Because money isn't everything, but it's right up there with oxygen, right? Yes, it is. All right, so I'm going to leave you with that, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in and for being here, and have a magnificent day. We'll see you next Tuesday. Take care, everybody.